wondering how come there isn't any elevated black food in San Francisco. That question became the very motivating thing for me to start underground and start educating myself, trying to do a finer African style restaurant. I think my first inspiration was my mother, who was a very good cook and gardener in Ethiopia. The grinding of shallots and green garlic and cardamom and cinnamon together mashed up, and then it will be dry. It goes to the oven, and all those stuff is where I get the inspiration. Ethiopia used to be a communist country, and as youngsters we were forced to do all kinds of military service and other participation in the communists, which we did not really agree, and disagreeing with the government of the communist government could land you in prison or even death in most cases. I was 19 when I left. My brother was 17. So we kind of got forced out of Ethiopia. So we walked out of Ethiopia on foot, about 300 to 450 miles to Sudan on foot without anything, without any food or carrying any clothes. Then throughout the journey, you will see other youngsters. Some of them didn't make it, but most they did. I think when you're scared and driven, or you don't have any choice left, I think anything is possible. Sometimes I often forget that I was once a homeless and a refugee in Sudan, and how you assimilate the culture, you learn the language, and you try to get a job, and pretty soon I'm here. After I arrived in San Francisco in the late 80s and early 90s, when I started working with all these great chefs, Jeremiah Tower, Joyce Goldstein, and I got interested in cooking. The fact I worked in those restaurants, from a busboy to a waiter, got interested really in a fine culinary, and I started doing underground restaurant, and years later I opened Radio African Kitchen. To me, that journey from my mother to working with great chefs, and then my travels through Europe and North Africa, just all cemented my great love to food. All the process is very enjoyable because it changed from stage to stage. From going to the farmer's market, getting really excited with all these colorful vegetables, and then you bring them to the restaurant. You wash and you prep. You cut it to the appropriate size, and then you move it to the kitchen. You steam, you blanch, you grill, and all that stuff like that, and then just giving it to the customer, and then when they say, that's what I love about it.